All right, guys, welcome to the credit game. I want you to do the opposite of everything I tell you because today we're going to talk about some of the biggest credit and credit card mistakes that you could possibly make. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. I do a credit channel every single day, Monday through Friday, and even Saturday to make sure I hold you accountable. The more you do something, the better you get, and that's why I'm with you every single day. Hit that subscribe button, whatever side it's on for me, please. Smash on that like button and make sure you turn on your bell notification and select the word all. What that means is every single day as the videos are coming in, you are getting notified. Let me say it again. Make sure you subscribe because this channel is going to bring you the best tips, tricks, things that you need to know about your credit to raise your credit score the fastest. No other channel does it every single day. And I want to make sure that I'm up inside your grill, like I said yesterday, to make sure that you get the best knowledge possible and the most up-to-date stuff. Also, I do my videos based on people's questions. So if I'm going to reverse engineer this, I want to tell you some things that most people think, but I want you to do kind of the opposite, okay? And a lot of these stem from just not having the education in credit, and it's not your fault, because it wasn't taught in schools, and mommy and daddy never taught it to us. So the first thing that you have to understand is this. One of the biggest misconceptions in credit is people think that I've made a bunch of payments, okay? So I've got a credit card, I've made my payments, everything looks good, and all at once I fell behind and I got a 30-day late, okay? So what happens is what most people think is, well, I've been making my payment for the last 7 months on my car or my credit card. And guess what? I missed a payment. Now I'm a 30-day late. Now on top of that being 35% of your score and crushing your score that you just have a brand new late payment, you believe that the following month, because you made your payment and you got it caught up, that late payment is not going to affect you anymore. That is a huge mistake. That late payment stays for 7 years. And that late payment is going to affect your credit score for the next 2 to 3 years. And as it tapers off, the longer the time goes by with that late payment, the less impact it's going to make to your credit score. But just because you catch up, this works the same with collections. You have a collection and you pay the collection off. This is a huge mistake. You guys that are making payments on collections, guess what you have now? You have a paid collection that does not do anything for your credit score. Not an increase, not a decrease. But guess what you have? A paid collection. So instead of removing the collection, doing it the right way, removing the negative, obsolete, unfair, unduly incorrect information on your credit report that shouldn't be there, you go and think, okay, I should make the payment so I clear up the collection. The problem is it doesn't clear up the collection. Now it's just a paid collection on your credit report. And everybody can see that you had a collection that's paid. Huge mistake, okay? So what I want to talk to you about is this. Utilization, okay? You think that, hey, high utilization is good. I should be using my credit cards. Huge mistake. Credit cards are used for the purposes of building credit, not to go max out and do spending sprees and vacations and put on your credit cards. It's for building credit, okay? Now, if it's an emergency situation, you use your credit card, great. But it's not for, I get a $10,000 card and now I'm not going to be fiscally responsible and I'm going to max out my $10,000 credit card and then think that's going to be okay. Well, now you're going to have 100% utilization on your credit card and your score is going to be tanked until you get that down to under 25%. But I always tell you, the magic number is 2%. You want your credit cards at 2% utilization. So keeping your credit utilization down, most people think it's the other way around. Big misconception and a huge mistake in credit. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is I spoke to probably hundreds of people with an 800 credit score. What is the one thing they all have in common? The one thing they all have in common is they don't miss payments. And the way they do that, and I've been saying this, is setting up your accounts on auto deduct. Call the credit card company, call your vehicle, even do it with your mortgage, okay? I want this automatically, the minimum payment taken out on the due date out of my checking account so I don't miss a payment. One missed payment is 35% of your credit score. So think about this. If you had an 800 credit score, what's 35% of 800? You're talking about 250 points. Guys, you could literally go from an 800 credit score, miss one payment, you could be in the fives. You could be in the fives, the high fives. One missed payment. That's how effective your payment history is. Followed second by utilization. You maxing out credit cards. I get a lot of people call me and say, hey, I've removed a bunch of stuff from my credit report. I don't know why my credit report went down. I'm like, let's check it out. I look at their credit report. Next thing you know, boom, the utilization is at 70%, but they removed 2 collections. Well, it's because your utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. So let's figure out and understand what not to do so we can reverse it and do the opposite. Okay? Now, if you close old accounts, people will tell you all the time, if you're not using your credit card, just throw it, take it, call the company and tell them, hey, I don't want the credit card anymore. That is a huge mistake. Old cards equals age, which equals stability. The older the card, the more powerful your credit report is. Do not close old accounts, no matter what. Whoever tells you that's pulling your leg and they don't know anything about credit. Okay? Huge mistake, big misconception in credit. Keep old accounts open. If you have a thin file, okay? Here's another misconception, a big mistake. People think that they have a 750, maybe they have an 800 credit score, right? They have a thin file, which means they don't have a lot on their credit. They don't have a lot of history. They end up adding one trade line and they all once, boom, their score goes up because there's not a lot of factors on their credit. There's not really a lot of credit, but they went and put a trade line, an authorized user on their credit. Now they're at a 790. They're like walking in places like, oh, I feel good now, or I can get a bunch of credit cards. I can get whatever vehicle I want. No, huge mistake. The reason why you have a 790 or an 800 credit score with one trade line is because it's only factored into one line and you're missing all the other stuff. The stability of the accounts, the age, your utilization, the amount of accounts, the revolving versus installments are all missing. But you put one trade line on all once you think you're God and now you can just go out and start getting all. No, you need to have a healthy balance of installments, revolving accounts, okay? Installment meaning a car, probably a loan. Revolving accounts meaning credit cards. Get a few of them, a couple primaries, a couple AUs, then go out and maybe get a couple credit cards. Okay, maybe then go out and get a vehicle. But one trade line, one line on your credit is not going to do you any good. Okay, you're not going to start. These days, these used to work back in 2013. In 2020, it's not going to work. Okay, banks are smart now. All right, huge misconception. So you want to use your credit card before the statement date. So here's what a lot of people mess up on. They don't know the statement date. You can call the back of your card and find out your statement date. I don't care. I know the holidays are coming up. You may need to use credit cards, right? The problem is what people do is they carry the balance over to the following month. And by doing that, what happens is they use the credit cards. They don't know their statement date. And then boom, you have let's say $1,000 credit card. Now you have that you put $900 on the card. And then what happens? You have a 90% utilization. If you can get that paid before the statement date, you can use all the way up. You can max the card out. As long as you make the payment and get it down to 25% or less under the statement date, you're safe. Call your card, say, what's my statement date? Use as much as you want, but just pay it down to under 25% before the statement date of that card, okay? What else? Late payments. You guys can't have any late payments, okay? You miss a late payment, you're trashed. One way to get and remove late payments is to understand this one trick. Late payments can come off using a hardship letter or an address verification update form. Okay? That's why I created the credit game. I created it for me because I had the 515. I needed something that needed to work. I needed an opportunity to say, you know what? Let me fix my credit. So I created this proprietary system that actually works better. All my programs come with free elite credit repair. They got the proprietary letters you can share with yourself, your family, your friends, your coworkers, and even clients. This is so spreadable, which is why the national credit average, based on the credit game that I created, will increase. It's at 667 now. I'm going to raise it to over 700. Banks aren't going to like me, but guess what? The people will love me. And I care more about the people than I do banks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the standards by you getting a platform, You can use the free Elite Credit Repair. You can use the entire education platform that I built for me, and now I just share it with the world. You just happen to be listening and using the content now. But I built it for me, and it worked. Today I'm an 827, been there for the last 6 years. Because now, even if I get you to an 800, do you know how to maintain the 800? That's the question. So, if you want 75% off competitor prices on Tradelines, you want free Elite Credit Repair with any of my programs, I'm doing free Elite Credit Repair today. Give me a call at 904-420-7772. Don't make the mistakes. If you have to go back to this video a million times, don't make the mistakes that most people think. The biggest one is this. Do not pay collections or charge-offs. Do not think that just because you make a payment after a missed payment that once that late payment goes away. It stays, okay? This is what I teach in the credit game. This is why the education part is so important. So if you're getting the Elite Credit Repair for free 1 month on my programs, I would definitely implore you to start educating yourself on the part that I built for me. The education platform of the credit game with videos and step-by-step is game changer. A fourth grader could do it. If you guys need help with this, I want to help you. Got a team out there that's ready to rock and roll. Change your life for you, for yourself, and your family. Even if you want to start a credit repair business, the credit game is for you. 904-420-7772. This is how you don't make mistakes in credit and you get to the 800 fast. Remember, an 800 credit score is worth over $125,000 in cash. Let me help you get there. 904-420-7772. Give me a call. They're out there waiting for you now. Take care. Until tomorrow, Mike from the Credit Game.